हेलो व्यूअर्स, वेलकम टू कॉफी विद शेयर गुरु। हम फिर से हाजिर हैं आपके साथ और हमारे गेस्ट के साथ। वेलकम टू द शो प्रवीर मिश्रा।
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Prabir ji, in the last episode we discussed about blockchain and beyond the finance market, how the blockchain is going to completely transfer the complete process of finance sector. Today, I want to elaborate something on blockchain again with Prabir Mishra, and there are some questions which are coming up to the show of Coffee with Share Guru, where people want to understand about blockchain. So we are concentrating more about your queries, and the first query which we came across: what is a principle on which blockchain technology is based on, Prabir ji? Audience really want to understand this subject.
Yeah, that's a great question. Anything has to be has a base or a principle how the technology has emerged. So just to give a brief background of blockchain, what we call a new darling of 21st century. Yes, the technology has started its journey in 1983 when digital cash was conceptualized by Chum in 1983. But again, see, when you talk about a digital or something as a virtual kind of a thing, there's a chances of double counting or double spending. To avoid that double spending, so just to tell you what is this double spending means. Double spending means a physical 10 rupees note can be spent once, right? But when you talk about a digital currency, there is a chance that you can copy that, right? To stop that, the blockchain technology came out. And this is the principle what in 2009, after maybe a decade to decade, Satoshi took up and created Bitcoin, as we know. So that's the first decentralized currency. So yes, when you talk of blockchain, what is that means? It's a kind of a 5 or 6 principles what we want to narrate. It's a kind of a digital. It's a decentralized. The first principle is the decentralized. Second is the integrity. Third thing is the cryptography is the main crux to the blockchain. Fourth could be security, and fifth could be inclusive, and so on. So these are the 4 or 5 basic principles of the blockchain technology, so to say. That's why this is, in spite of a digital, in spite of a fear of double spending, things are under control. So that's how it got into it. So the blockchain has got the principles of 5 principles, the 5 major principles, how the blockchain operates under that.
Prabir ji, principles and everything's people want to understand one more thing. Like when we talk about principle, they think everything is like a stock market only, give and take, trading. So blockchain is a very, very different subject when it comes to technology. Blockchain is a technology where people are still misconfused or misinterpreted about the cryptocurrency is related to the blockchain and blockchain is only for the cryptocurrency. Is these questions are coming up?
No, this is not the exact thing. See, one of the derivative of blockchain is a cryptocurrency. It's not that cryptocurrency is all blockchain is all about cryptocurrency. Yes, one of the use cases is cryptocurrency because it uses something called as a decentralization. That means the data is with everybody. So if a currency has got certain identity, it is going to be remain with a lot of people. It's a kind of a decentralized. It's work on a P2P network. No single participant is a particular owner of that data. So that's the basic things. That's how the blockchain is, the cryptocurrency operates on that. So let's say you own a cryptocurrency. Okay, you own one certain dollar. It's not that somebody has got the same replica of that. Your unique currency or your unique, think it of a 1,000 rupees, a 100 rupees note. A unique 100 rupees note is unique to itself. Similarly, each of the cryptocurrencies are unique to themselves. It's controlled by something called as a hash value. something called that. There is a proper security layer. There's a unique number is assigned to that. We call it as a hash or as an alphanumeric number, 256 security layers are there. So there are something which controls blockchain, because there is not a single centrally controlled, it's a decentralized thing. That's why it is not that, yes, it's getting into some sort of a, yes, it drive into some sort of a speculation where the price of that crypto rages or fall down. Right now, today, we are seeing that for last 2 days, the Bitcoin is crashing like anything.
Yes.
Because of certain global event. It has crashed up to, right now when you are talking, it's crashed up to, I think, around $21,000. So it's a kind of a demand and supply. So like the stock market, there is a demand and supply. See, things evolve out here in stock market. How you define a value of a particular stock? It has got certain fundamental business principles. It has got certain profitability. It has got certain asset attached to that. Beyond that, there is certain speculation. Okay, in anticipation that the future is going to get good. So let me buy this stock, and you create a demand, then you keep it. That's how the stock market prices goes up or goes down. Same thing happen in the currency market. Demand for some cryptocurrencies goes up, goes down, based on certain speculative things, certain project behind that currency. So everything, it's a kind of a, if you relate the stock market indexes going up and down and the virtual currency going up and down, yes, you can relate it to something as a demand and supply gap, something into projects behind those assets of the currency. So that's how it gets decided at a particular price. So there is nothing that somebody is pulling the price, somebody is pushing the price. Yes, global conditions also. Global, let's say the global economic condition also decide. The war in Russia, war in Ukraine is also deciding on the cryptocurrency. There is some currency disturbance happened in yesterday in Israel and other countries. That's how it's the crypto market is crashing a bit. But again, it has got a chance to itself.
Prabir, my next question is, what are the types of blockchains are there?
Okay. Now, when you talk about the blockchain technology, there are two principal things are there. There's a public blockchain, there's a private blockchain. Yes, there are hybrid models, there are consortium models, but let's focus on these two primary things. There is something called as a public, there is something called as a private. So this public and private blockchain, they operate on certain principles. So the public blockchain, they have got something called as proof of stake or proof of work or proof of harvest. There is certain concept based on that works. Now, the private blockchain, specifically, if you look at this hyperledger, so they have got that some consciousness built onto that hyperledger. Right now, we are using Amazon QLDB as a blockchain, but that's not a blockchain. But again, it provides a kind of a database which is immutable. Okay. Now, what is that? First, you have to understand what is that immutable. If some data getting into the blockchain, it gets recorded in millions and billions of computers. Now, how it gets recorded? Not that data is getting replicated. Data represents certain structure. Let's say my certificate, my passport represents certain structure. The metadata creates a specific hash value, specific identity that gets restored in millions of computers. Now, what happens? Now, let's say my passport is somebody's hacked my passport, changed my photograph. Now, when you scan that, it is not going to verify the same hash value in the millions of computers. Then it's saying that, no, it's not the truth. So that's how it operates. So it's a kind of a, on the public side, yes, you have got proof of stake, you have got proof of work, you've got proof of harvest. Now there are a lot of new things are getting emerging. But again, on the private blockchain space, Hyperledger is the most known. Coda is another company based out of Singapore. They are also good. So that's how it operates. Now, see, you have to understand this very beautiful concept as called hashing using a SHA-256 mechanism, which is a one-way hashing function. So a document, the first version of the document having a identity is getting recorded in form of a hash value. That hash value is stored in millions of computers. Then when there is a challenge to prove that whether this document is right or wrong, all these millions of computers come and do a voting. Now it happens, the majority wins. If 50% and above computer say that yes, this the hash is matching, then that is winning. But again, these things are happening on the microseconds. You don't know what is happening on the behind. But this is how the blockchain operates. So nobody owns the data. Not a single person owns the data permanently. It's distributed across the globe, across the participatory computer, those who do the data mining. How they do, why they do. So there are the computers with a high gigabytes processor speed, they do the online. And why they do? When they participate, they win some sort of a token, money, or some sort of a reward. That's why they participate. So let's say your desktop computer can be put into mining without your knowledge. Your computer is earning money for you. That's as simple as I can say.
Prabirji, you have just used one word, ledger. I'm just doing the simplification work over here to make the audience more understanding about the blockchain. To ledger, if we want to explain the ledger in normal term, in single Hindi, I would say, in a Hindi word, what can be a word?
Ledger is a खाता, okay? अपना जो खाता रहता है ना, when you enter your data, transactions, इसको इतना पैसा दिया गया, इससे इतना पैसा रिसीव किया गया, traditionally we use a खाता book, right? That is a ledger. Now, what we say, distributed ledger, that means ये ledger खाता का copy सबके पास है. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि I took रुचि से 1,000 rupees and my khata, one khata will enter 500, other khata will enter 700. Every khata will enter 5,000 rupees. Now, when Ruchi asks me, okay, give me mine back 1,500 rupees, then every khata says, hey, you have taken 1,000 rupees, sab khata bo. So that's how the blockchain operates. It's a ledger khata with a proof with everybody owns. But again, not the data. If the data hota, then it would have been a very huge kind of a repository you would need. But it's a kind of a representation of data. Let's say that 1,000 entry created a 256 character hash value, hash with a alphanumeric value that gets stored in the millions of computers.
Okay. My next question to you, Prabirji, blockchain is distributed database, and how does it differ from a traditional database?
See, traditional database are the single entry database. Here, when we talk about the distributed database, the data is with everyone, with a distributed, let's say it's a network participants with a 200, maybe millions and millions of computer in the worldwide. They keep those data, but again, not the physical data, the representation of data. Again, I am talking of, let's say you click a photograph, which is a 5 MB. That's the main data, but that photograph has got they call it metadata, which is some byte that hash value is get created and that gets stored in the millions of computers. Whenever there is a proof to that, the challenge is given, thrown upon that ये photo को आप verify करके बोलो, is it the real or not? Then those computer send that hash value to match with the original hash value. That's how it happens.
Brilliant, Prabirji. You're making life easier for a Coffee with Share Guru audience to understand the trending new version of technology, which is a blockchain, and we'll be keep discussing more on this subject. And Prabirji will be coming back to soon with more questions to you from the Coffee with Share Guru audience, because audience are very keen to understand the subject and take their own directions. So thank you for joining in. And
thank you, Ruchi.
And thank you for your precious knowledge, what you're sharing on this platform. It's really means a lot at this point of time where there is lack of knowledge about blockchain, because people think the blockchain, it's not our area to understand and practice. That's what I am in day-to-day life, I hear from my close one or in office or anyone, people are just ignoring this subject, and we are trying to make it simpler. So we'll be staying back, and we'll be coming with more questions. And thank you for watching Coffee with Share Guru. Please, you can ask your question to our guest and send your question on 9833312945. It's a WhatsApp number, very easy to use. So please send your questions and we'll be back. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.